Spurgeon here with RevZilla TV to talk to you today about the British custom slammer seat available at RevZilla.com. So the slammer seat is going to be a low-slung, two-up option for you guys out there on modern classic Triumphs. This is going to give you a nice upgrade in look as well as a huge upgrade in comfort over that rock-hard OEM seat. This is going to be designed for you guys out there on Bonnevilles, T100s, Scramblers, Thruxtons. You know who you are. If you have any doubts as to whether or not this seat's going to work on your bike, make sure to use the bike front on our website. It'll get you set up with the right seat every time. Now, install for this seat, it's going to vary, depending on whether you go with the regular option or the integrated taillight option. Regular option on our BSD, our beard scale difficulty for install, it's going to be less than a 1 out of 3. It's a Fu Manchu mustache, 10 to 15 minutes in the garage, you're going to have this new seat on your bike and ready to roll. If you go with the integrated taillight option, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. You're looking at a 1 out of 3 on our BSD, our beard scale of difficulty. Still something that anybody can do. Super easy plug and play electronics. Nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be complicated with. Just a little bit more of a lift. We'll talk more about install at the end, but for right now, let's jump in and talk about what sets the slammer seat apart from other seats out there in the market. So British Customs got their start designing custom-made motorcycles off of the Triumph Modern Classic frame. What they then did was they took all those parts they put into their builds and they sold them to you out there in the public so you could bolt them onto your bike and give yourself a nice custom look of your own. That's what we see with the slammer seat in front of us. This is going to be a seat that's going to be a direct bolt-on application to your Modern Classic Triumph that simply gives you a nice classic look while also giving you a huge comfort upgrade over stock. So the slammer, first and foremost, it's going to be a little bit more low slung than your stock seat, so if you're a little bit vertically challenged, this is going to lower ride height just a hair, giving you a little bit more of a firm planting of your footing on the ground. The other thing you want to consider is that there's going to be two coverings for this seat. You can have a marine grade vinyl covering or you can have a leather covering. So let's start by breaking down which cover is going to be right for you. If you're a rider out there that works like the US Postal Service, you're going to ride during the rain, the sleet, the snow, nothing's going to stop you. You're going to want to go with the marine grade vinyl. The marine grade vinyl is available in brown as well as black, and it's got this nice classic tuck and roll design with these horizontal marks and these horizontal stitches going across it. The reason you want to go with marine grade vinyl is it holds up to pretty much anything you're going to throw its way. It's impervious to the weather, and it's going to look great from the day you buy it until the day you get rid of your motorcycle. If you are a fair weather rider and you don't mind a little bit more maintenance, you want something that is definitely going to be a classic, just utmost look, leather is going to be something you want to consider. Leather is going to be much more maintenance intensive. So keep in mind, not only are you going to have to be careful into what elements you're riding in, there's also going to be a lot more maintenance involved. British Customs is going to recommend using a mink oil to actually season your leather seat. I'm going to go one step further. I like using a mink oil paste. The reason you go with a mink oil paste, it's not as sloppy as using the regular oil, and it actually doesn't absorb as quickly into the leather. Just gives you a little bit more usability, and you don't have to maintain it quite as much. But again, leather is going to be for you guys out there that only want the summer riding. You're not going to be out there in all the seasons, and you're going to store your bike inside because it does wear out quicker if you don't maintain it. So once we get past that covering, the inside is going to be the same in the seat. You're going to have two layers here. The first layer is going to be a dense foam, and then they're going to impregnate that with a comfort gel. Any of you out there that have done anything more than 100 miles in your OEM seat is going to appreciate going to this nice, comfortable option. The other thing you're going to see with the slammer seat is that it's going to be a little bit low slung here, and you're going to expose more of the frame rail. This is just going to be a nice aesthetic upgrade. It's going to look a little bit slimmer than your stock OEM seat and just expose more of that bike. Let's flip this over as we talk about the bottom. It's going to be a gel-coated fiberglass seat pan, huge upgrade over your plastic. It isn't going to flex as much. You're also going to upgrade to steel hardware. This is going to cut down on the flexing, giving you a nice, strong, supportive base. What I also like about this is that going to the steel hardware, it simply isn't going to wear and tear as easy as the plastic OEM option. I tore through my first seat in about 30,000 miles and had to upgrade to a second one. My only little nitpick with this is going to be some of the edges under here are unfinished. They're a little bit frayed. They're kind of jaggedly cut. Small nitpick. Once you get this on the bike, you're never going to see it, and the rest of the seat is really nicely done. So this is going to take us into the installation like we talked about in the beginning. So if you're going with just the regular seat, you're not making any electronic upgrades to this one, it's going to be less than 1 out of 3 on our BSD, our beard scale difficulty for install. You have 2 bolts in the back, you're going to have some mounting hardware you need to swap over. All in all, you're looking at about 10 to 15 minutes tops. Swap one off, the other one back on, you're set to go. If you want to go with the integrated taillight section, you're going to bump up to a 1 out of 3 on our BSD, or Beard Scale Difficulty for Installation. And let's talk about this for a minute. So first and foremost, the actual wiring part isn't hard at all. You're going to have a nice plug-and-play OEM harness. So you're going to unplug your old taillight section, plug the new one in, and it's also going to give you pre-wired license plate or turn signal lights, so you can simply plug in your turn signals right there, and you're going to be set to go. Where it gets to be a little bit tricky is that you're going to have to make a couple other modifications, as far as you're going to want to remove your fender. You're not going to want to go with the integrated taillight kit unless you're getting rid of that fender. It just doesn't make sense. So if you're planning on doing that down the road, you can go with the integrated taillight seat and just not put the taillight on right away. If you're planning on doing it all at once, you're going to want to make sure you get a license plate bracket as well as an elimination plate for up underneath the seat. Again, just a few more pieces you have to think about. All in all, I think British Customs did a really nice job of giving you a seat that's going to upgrade your bike to give you a nice classic custom look without any major modifications. And the comfort upgrades to this over the stock seat, heck, I actually put this on my Triumph that has the gel seat on it right now, the Triumph gel seat. It was huge comfort upgrades over that. So I think they did a really great job with this. With that being said, there's a lot of folks out there rocking British Customs stuff. If you want to hear more about what they have to say, do me a favor, click below. Read other riders' opinions about the British Customs seats they're rocking on their motorcycles. If you have more questions for us, never hesitate, get us on the phone, give us a call, 877-792-9455, or simply type us out an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the British Customs Slammer seat. I'm Spurgeon. Enjoy the ride.